The race for 2024, according to new polling, is currently a photo finish. A new poll showing President Biden and heavy Republican favorite Donald Trump are tied in a head-to-head matchup. This follows another poll that shows that despite Trump's growing legal problems, Republican voters are sticking with the former president. 69% still believe he is the strongest candidate to take on Joe Biden. Joining us to discuss this polling and more, former Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan. He's also a founder of the new national advocacy group, We the People 250 Action Fund. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. Let's start with the fund. You say that you want to move on from the toxic conversation that surrounds politics. How is the fund going to help you do that? What are you hoping to do with the money you're trying to raise?
Well, we're going to be the home for the exhausted majority, which I think is the vast majority of the people in the country who are just really tired of the political conversation that's happening in the United States. And we want better, and we're going to head towards better. We want to usher in an era of reform and responsibility, increase civic engagement, and really elevate the conversation. But what we're going to do is highlight the positive things that are happening in the country. There are so many ordinary people that are doing absolutely extraordinary things. It gets drowned out in the national conversation. So we're going to make very compelling videos to highlight what's going on in the country. We want to build the organization in all 3,142 counties and begin to knit this country back together from a cultural perspective, not necessarily a political perspective.
Well, Tim, respectfully, it seems like there's a lot of demand for Trump's style of politics, the sort of populist, anti-establishment voice. What do you have to say to those folks?
Well, look, everybody's going to be welcome. Now, let me be very, very clear. We're going to take a firm and hostile position against all anti-democratic forces in the country. We do not want to undermine the democracy, so we're going to do everything we can to protect this country. We're coming up on the 250th anniversary of the country. It's really a miracle that we've made it this far, and we want to make sure we leave it better for our kids. And that means we all got to be a little bit more responsible. And we can have disagreements on policy, but we can't tolerate people who want to undermine the democracy. And I think most people, Boris, are ready to come together. They're ready to heal, but we've got to move towards better. And the We the People 250 Action Fund is going to do that. People can go to people250.us if they want to contribute and be a part of this organization. And again, we want to start the healing process. I don't think people have a place to go right now. We want to give them that place for the exhausted majority.
I think some of the polling, at least on the Republican side, paints a bit of a different picture, though you have said that in order for a presidential candidate to win purple states like your home state of Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, they have to run a, quote, high-energy campaign. You have to be able to communicate what you've accomplished. On the Democratic side, do you think President Biden has been doing that?
Well, he's going to have to. I mean, that's going to be the recipe for success. We have in Ohio, for example, and I know in Michigan and other states, really positive things going on from the initiatives that President Biden led and that I supported when I was in Congress, the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS bill that's allowing the reshoring of chip manufacturing in Ohio. We're going to have a $20 billion investment just outside of Columbus, making chips again for the first time. We have auto plants, electric vehicles, batteries, a lot going on, natural gas power plants in the eastern part of the state. A lot of positive stuff, mostly tied to these initiatives. And so I think getting out and campaigning on those initiatives is going to be a recipe for success and the stability and the pro-democracy piece. So there's a lot of time left before the campaign starts. So we'll see what happens.
Former Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan, thanks so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you.